Okay, this is report 2 for the Witherspoon. My group is Ray, Gabby, Marissa, and myself, Aiden. um, so for direct competitors, we found the SODA District Courtyard. It's a wedding, uh, mainly wedding and performance venue in Abilene. It's also located downtown, just like the Witherspoon, and it's fully renovated, which can be a problem um, with competition for the Witherspoon, considering it's not fully renovated yet. It also has an outside area, and I know that Jessica had mentioned making an outside area, but it's not quite there yet, and so that can also be a big disadvantage. Um, the area that they are located is an advantage, just like the Witherspoon. They have some partners going on with them too. It's um, sorry, advertisement is not needed for this competitor, considering how popular it is in Abilene, and so it would be really big for the Witherspoon to build up their reputation more than they already have, so that they are able to just be more popular and more well known than the district courtyard. Some of the indirect competitors for the Witherspoon um, is Max Air Trampoline Park. It's something that uh, really anyone can go to. It's a big place for birthday parties, but it's not quite the same thing because the Witherspoon has the princess birthday parties, and so this is an attraction for guys and girls for birthday parties, and they also set up and clean up. Jessica also does that though, and they include food and drinks in their packages, while Jessica just has her list of vendors and things that they can do and bring. Um, but the trampolines are a strength for Max Air, but the Witherspoon, the bouncy castle is probably on a similar aspect, but it's a lot better for the Witherspoon, considering it's something that is unique and can attract more people that are really into the princess birthday theme. Um, and like I said, the food is a big uh, problem for the Witherspoon because it's out of the person's pocket instead of just a package deal. Um, the only thing though is that with Max Air, it's only things that they provide to you. You can't bring in your own things. So that can also be a benefit to the Witherspoon, is that they bring in everything that they specifically want and they can arrange for that to happen. Max Air promotes their business on billboards, and so they're able to get attention from drivers whenever they're picking their kids up from school or taking them to some extracurricular activity. And they're very involved on their Facebook page, and so it's a lot harder for the Witherspoon, like market wise, because the Witherspoon doesn't have billboards yet, and the Facebook page needs to be more amped up. And the for from the college aspect, Max Air is a good attraction um, for things like dodgeball tournaments um, and get-togethers, like social club group events. But it doesn't have the same banquet. Like, you can't have a banquet at Max Air, so that's a big thing for the Witherspoon as well. Uh, Prime time is another attraction for, just like Max Air. They're probably direct competitors, while they're both indirect to the Witherspoon. It's a big birthday party place. They have a way bigger variety of products and services than Max Air does, but and the Witherspoon. but the audience is still the same. They have commercials and promote themselves really well. They're a lot bigger company and they've been around for a while. Their package deals are similar to Max Air. They have the food and unlimited access to all their games and that kind of thing. They have expanded a lot so they can not only for birthday events and things, but sporting aspect, so they can get people for soccer and football. I know that indoor soccer is a big thing there. I've been with the soccer team there a lot of times. They also have axe throwing, which has started growing over the years, and an escape room, and it just has made them a big place to go for a big variety of things, but not so much as a venue. And so that's where the Witherspoon will market themselves better than Prime Time. Despite them being indoor and outdoor, the Witherspoon will soon have outdoor, and they can't host large venue banquet events like the Witherspoon, because the Witherspoon is just big and it's made perfectly for that aspect. The target market, and so geographically it's located downtown, and it's great because it has the old town Abilene vibe, which people in Abilene really enjoy. Um, and it being downtown is a great location, not only because people in Abilene that know the area will like it that it's downtown, but whenever things aren't located downtown, people that live just outside Abilene or kind of close to Abilene, that can cause a big problem for whenever they're trying to find the location. There's a central, area that they can easily find the Witherspoon at, and so that's a great thing for that to happen. Demographically, Abilene has a high percentage of non-Hispanic white people and just Hispanic people too. And so for this aspect, it's good to see for cultural events. There's still quinceañeras. There's Sweet 16s. There's all those things that can be marketed to people to rent out the venue at the Witherspoon. The birthday parties, the children's birthday parties is a big thing. Wedding venues, all of that. Psychographic, it's more of a country indie type vibe, and that is something that would be a great interest to people in Abilene because they like the country and they like the history, and it's just something that even if you're not that into it, it's something that you can work easily with and you can change it. And the Witherspoon is big, and there's a lot of ways that they can change it to however they want their venue to be marketed to look like. Our objectives for our campaign is we want everyone to know that the Witherspoon is more than a venue. It's a place where whenever you go, you don't have to worry about setting up and taking down. You don't have to worry that it's unorganized or that everything is going to be thrown together at the last minute. Jessica has mentioned more than once that she can set up an event in 45 minutes for a large number of people. And so that just shows how experienced and organized that she is. Our objective is to get great pictures along with the ones that have already been taken to show our audiences what different types of themes and the amount of space available. We want to send out our information in flyers, social media, mailing cards, and posters. And then we had also looked into the possibility of a billboard, but that would be very expensive. And so if it wasn't ideal and taken the right way, we could end up losing a lot of money rather than per potential customer, rather than flyers, social media, the mailing cards, and the posters. The flyers, posters, and mailing cards are all relatively cheap. The only thing that would go into a bigger cost within those things would be the design and then the time making them and sending them out or putting them in places. And so that can add up and take a lot of potential or opportunity cost compared to other things. And so we'd have to sit down with Jessica and talk about what she feels most comfortable doing. From a social media aspect, there's the ads are also relatively cheap, but considering the time period that we need to get those on those sites, whenever you pay per click and that sort of thing, like on Snapchat, there's whenever you go through stories and stuff, an ad will pop up and you can pay more, like almost double the price more uh, for it to make it where you can't exit out or leave that ad for at least 5 seconds. And that is probably a lot better marketing technique to use, to where they have to at least look at it for 5 seconds. They don't just automatically make it leave. And so it just, they have their eyes on it for a little bit of time and then just have them see it a couple more times. Another thing is that we want people to know as from our campaign is that a great place for all ages, like that I have said more than once. Everyone is welcome. There's not only is it a venue, but it's a dance class, and I mean it's a dance play. It has dance classes at the place, and it's like every age, male or female. You can find something that you would enjoy doing. There's the photo shoots. There's the first dance at the wedding. There's no age limit to anything that's provided. And so it's really great marketed for all ages, and anything that someone might be interested in, they can, for a venue or activity, they could find at the Witherspoon. Like I was mentioning on the last slide, for the flyers and all that, the social media aspect, it doesn't cost much except for the pop-up ads, other than the opportunity cost. And so it will take time out from working at the business from another aspect whenever we are working on social media. It costs about $2 per click to put out per mile of Abilene. It would be $5 outside of Abilene, and a billboard will cost $1,500 to $4,000 a month, depending on where it is. But also, the more expensive it is where more people are going to be seeing it. And so that's just something that we really need to take into account. And we need to make sure that the people, like in the more expensive locations, that really people of like the certain age groups, for the main marketing strategies that we're going for, like the princess birthday parties, the social gathering events, the proms, and the weddings, will see this. Otherwise, that would be a huge, huge cost for no reason almost. And so some of the locations that we were thinking of was near the schools, near the colleges, near some wedding shops like David's Bridal, or closer to downtown, so that people can already see, oh, it's right there, it's nearby. But the thing with that is, if it's already nearby, then they might already know about it, or just having a bigger sign rather than a billboard outside of the location. Flyers could be just handed out to the universities instead of just not only putting them up, but handed out. Coffee shops around the area, bulletin boards for like job boards, or like, you know, in offices and that sort of thing. Flyers and flyers and posters would be, so flyers for 1,000 5x7 would be $90. Posters would be about $150, and mailing cards would be, depending on the amount given, it would be around $50 to $120 for over 1,000 mailing cards. The 50 would be definitely on the lower end, but if we're looking for 1,000 to 2,000 mailing cards, then a good amount. I mean, the cost would be closer to 150 after the design and that sort of thing. With billboards in mind and social media, we want to be as efficient as possible in making the promotions so that they really stand out. The heavily populated areas, like I had mentioned more than once, is where the billboards would be really necessary to have. Otherwise, it wouldn't be efficient. The budget is the main thing. And so if billboards are too expensive, we have our other options. Facebook is a big, Facebook and Instagram are two big things with almost no cost in a tangible money aspect, but the opportunity cost is still very, needs to be taken into account. So as long as we have the right mindset going into it, then we will be able to work it out well and know what we're doing so that the opportunity cost is all like the same as doing more other marketing techniques. The money would be put more towards advertising weddings and events held in the building. She doesn't need as much advertising on the birthday parties or the dance classes because those are already her most popular things. And the birthday parties is a big word of mouth kind of event. And so whenever kids go to a princess birthday party and they love it and their parents go with them, and they'll see like, man, this would be a great thing for my child to have. And so they want their daughter to experience that. And the dance classes, she's already well known and experienced, and she knows that market, and she's been doing well marketing that as well. So the weddings and social clubs slash proms are mainly weddings, but those other two as well are what the advertising would mainly go towards. Obviously, we're not going to have a billboard showing that the Witherspoon is an ad for proms because that's something that you would contact the schools about. Also, since the building is downtown, a lot of people are going to love going around that area just to look in the historic area and the buildings and all that. And the art outside the buildings draws attention for people as well. And so that will be big for potential people. And so it's just another great aspect of the building. And that is all.